Welcome to Grammy SuSu's Storytime, coming to you from Albuquerque, New Mexico. I have a great story to read to you today. I hope you like it as much as I do. Hi, boys and girls. Hey, I see some people I know out there today. Malik, Caroline, welcome. I'm wondering if you all know what a raven is. They look sort of like big crows, super big crows. They're black birds with big beaks and bright eyes and very strong wings. They are very, very special blackbirds, though. Just like each one of you is a very special person. They're very smart, for one thing. And some people believe they have magical powers. Today's story is about a raven who was so small he didn't feel special. The big birds laughed at him and made fun of him. And the little raven was sad and lonely. But then he had a very special adventure. Let's read about it. This is today's story. It's written by Marcus Pfister, whom I bet a lot of you kind of know because he wrote a book about a rainbow fish that lots of people really love. This book of his is called The Little Moon Raven. Let's see what happens. Three old ravens perched on their branch, completely and utterly bored. "Nothing happens here," croaked the first. "Nothing has ever happened here," groaned the second. Not true, protested the third. "Have you forgotten the little raven with the silver wings?" "Silver wings? He only had silver wings in your dream." "You've forgotten." And so the old raven began to tell this story. All the new little ravens in our flock had hatched, except one. But soon this last egg started to crack, and in no time at all, a tiny little something poked its hungry little beak out. We're looking down right into their nest right now. After a few days, we gathered around the nest to have a look at the newcomer. "Oh my, it's so puny," I said and laughed. "10 of that could fit into one egg," said another. "And that will grow into a raven?" croaked a third. The little raven really was incredibly small. Maybe that's why we started picking on him and bullying him whenever we could. He wanted to play with us, but we never wanted him. "Why, you hardly have feathers, and you can't even fly yet," I told him once. We were really mean to him. The little raven's black feathers began to grow and get thicker. He was ready for his first flying exercises. He started with a clumsy flutter of his wings. This was followed by his first hop from a branch, and then his flights got longer and longer. He was gifted and agile, and soon became the best flyer in our whole flock. "Can I play with you now?" the little raven asked one day. "Of course," I said. You just have to fly up to the moon, and when you come back, we'll play with you. To the moon? Asked the little raven nervously. There's nothing to it, I said. We used to do it every day when we were your age, said the other crows, cawing happily. Do you think that's true? That evening, I watched the little raven staring up at the bright, silvery moon. Suddenly, he took off. He flew higher and higher. I should have stopped him. I should have told him it was a bad joke, but I said nothing. I fell asleep, but in my dream, I saw him flying still higher, the beating of his little heart thundering in my ears. When he was close to the moon, a harsh, blinding light filled the sky. It took a moment before I could see clearly, but then I saw him. He was gliding high above, his wings glittering silvery and as bright as the moon itself. Can you see how it's shining? Then he began to lose power. The beautiful silver wings were probably too heavy for him. They seemed to pull him down, and he rolled and spun toward the earth. I opened my beak to scream, but then his heavy silver wings caught the wind above me. I woke up completely confused and could not sleep a wink for the rest of the night. The next morning, we found the little raven. He was lying in a hedge close to our oak tree. I was sure he had come closer to the moon than any other bird. The little one had the heart of a real fighter, but now he lay there, lifeless. We all leaned over him and waited for some sign of life. His mother sobbed quietly, and I was afraid. Then the little raven suddenly opened his eyes. His mom hugged him, and the little one said very softly, "I didn't make it." No one, except me, knew what he meant. I knew exactly. Do you see anything on the little raven? Anything unusual? Anything sparkling? We didn't make it either, I stammered. I just told you that to get rid of you. I never thought that you would really try to fly to the moon. Can you ever forgive me? Instead of answering, the little raven rose into the air and called, "Come on, let's play." It was only then that we noticed the silver feather shining in the little raven's wing. Together, we followed him up into the bright, clear morning sky. So, did you ever feel lonely or like nobody liked you? I sure did when I was little. I was always one of the last to get picked to be on a team. But you know what? I found magic. I found magic in stories. Yes, and you have a little magic shining in you, too, just like the little raven's silver feather. Keep looking for it. You'll find it. And if you look hard enough, you'll find it in your friends, too. Thank you for listening. I hope you liked the little raven. Bye.